Salem The Dog Prodigy again. So one of the things that people assume about doggy boot camp is the misconception is once you get the dog back, will the dog listen to me? And the answer is simply yes, if you have the right trainer, right school. So let's go a little bit about my background. So I've done this 22 years. I'm not saying this to brag, it's a fact. 22 years with not hundreds of dogs, but thousands of dogs. I've done group classes, I've done private lessons, I've done, combination of both. And then I ended up doing more doggy boot camp. And here's why I've done that. One is, guys, once I trained the dog, there's no more doubt in the dog owner's mind the dog was untrainable. So they see if the dog was too young to be trained, or if they're too old, or in their mind it was hopeless. I send them a video clip before the pickup, and they see the dog been trained. So there's no more doubt. When that happens, guys, the owner right away, they do a few things in their head. One is they're like, okay, I can do this from here on. Or they're like, will the dog listen to me? And let me tell you why that is. The answer is yes. All the best trained dogs, well, if not almost the best trained dog, were trained by someone else. Dogs for the blind, dogs for the handicap, hunting dogs, and attack trained dogs. Most of these dogs, guys, were trained by an expert first. Some of these, take months. Mine doesn't take months. It only takes, 2 or 3 weeks. So it takes months. So once the dog is trained, then they were assigned to an owner, or the owner came in a picture. So you have to be involved regardless. A lot of people say, well, I want to train my dog myself. Yeah, that's fine, It will not work without you. It will not. So the idea is, I will be the trainer. Once you come in the picture, then you become the trainer. I'll be the instructor. So I train the dog, and then I show you what I've done and how you stay on top of it. From there on, it's up to you. And it really is up to you. So think of it as losing weight, liposuction. You go get, look trim and nice, and then you go back to eating the same way and doing the same stuff. It will not work. It will not stick. And same thing with doggy boot camp or dog boarding and training, or whatever you want to call it. Drop-off training. Everybody names it differently. Few more things that I want to emphasize. So a lot of times what people guess and assume is like, okay, the dog's not really trained. So what I do is, I do this myself, I don't know how many other schools do this, is I send them a video clip of the dog. So I send them, if the dog was leash pulling, they see the dog slowing down or speeding up on command. If the dog was attacking dogs, they see me working around dogs, in PetSmart and around dog parks. The dog's not attacking dogs no more. If the dog was chasing cats, if the dog was jumping on people, if the dog was nipping at them, barking excessively, they see a proof, and I put those on YouTube. Why you do this, guys? Because so there's no amnesia. Months or years later, someone may say, oh, you didn't do nothing with the dog, and I send them to the clip of their dog, and then there's no more amnesia. Like, oh yeah, I remember. So if you don't do your part, guys, I can tell next time when I see you. So the biggest misconception people have about doggy boot camp is, will the dog listen to me once I get him back? The answer is yes. I make sure I educate you, what you've done right, what you've done wrong, how you stay on top of it from here on, what's the plan, everything. And that's how you can tell when you find the right doggy boot camp school. You get asked those questions. What's the follow-up like, if and when needed? Do you, help me on the phone? Can I come work with you more for follow-ups? With me, the answer is yes, yes, yes. You can come again, work with me as many times as it takes, but usually people really don't need the follow-ups. I'm telling you, I'm not, again, saying this to push my program, because I make sure all the biggest issue and concern are out of the way first. So whenever you get a doggy boot camp, you can start a doggy boot camp school. There are pros and cons of it. The pros is, guys, it really works because all the hard work is out of the way. The dog's trained, and you want to stay on top of it there. Cons is a little bit more expensive, because again, you're talking about paying for boarding the dog, training the dog, taking care of your dog, all that. As a group classes is $90 for 6 or 8 weeks, and you can't always make it. You can't always get the whole family involved. Private lessons, and people kind of stay on top of it. Some of them they can. So doggy boot camp, if you really weigh the pros and cons, it has more pros than cons. It really does, because again, the dog gets trained. The hard work is out of the way, and then all you stay on top of is the maintenance. Okay, I thought I would clear that up about doggy boot camp. For more info, or if you want to hire me, go to my website, dogsecrets.com.